Oh my gosh, friends, look at that. Look at that sunlight coming through the clouds there. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Oh my goodness. That bright Southern California sunshine passing through the what's called the marine layer, the cool, moist air from the Pacific Ocean that passes into the inland areas. We're many, many miles inland right now. These clouds, this mist is the marine layer passing through the area. The sun, which has now risen and is above this granite mountain. You can see the disk of the sun up there is burning through the mist right now, and all this mist would be dispersed probably within an hour. And I'm getting a beautiful effect of sun beaming right there. Wow, I really like that. We're in Granite Mountains right now. Look at these huge blocks of granite. Whoa, hummingbird, hummingbird. Did you see that? A creature we don't have in Japan. At least I've never seen one. They've been coming by to visit me throughout my little journey here. I'm having a great time. Got up early this morning, and family was still asleep. Lyle, Jen, Parker, Emily, Yumiko. Put on my pack, grabbed my camera, and headed up into these granite mountains. These mountains, as I mentioned in previous videos, were formed by a great mass of magma, molten, semi-molten earth from the Earth's mantle. Pushed up into the crust, creating a great bulbous mass that was then able to cool very slowly, allowing it to form the crystals within the mass to form and have the crystals and the various minerals separate, giving this great granite texture. Beneath me then lies a huge mass of solid rock. Amazing. And it's risen here and it's exfoliating, coming apart and dropping off boulders into the landscape here. You can see all throughout here. These over here is a good example. These boulders are coming apart, being weathered by the cycles of cold and heat, freezing water, and basically the effects of gravity dragging it down ever so slowly. I've come here for a specific reason. I've come here to seek my old friend green, something that I have everywhere in Japan, but here it's mostly brown. And there's an oasis above my brother's house in this granite mountain. And I've been here once before, very difficult to get to. Although I'm not far from civilization, you can see, if I turn the camera there, down below in the below the mist there, you can certainly hear the traffic. But can you see the outline of homes down there? That's the housing tract where my brother lives. I'm just poking around up right in my brother's backyard, having a great old time. An area where, as far as I can tell, no one ever comes. This is just my little sanctuary right now, though I can hear the noise of humanity below. Here's why I'm here. Here's the reason I came here. Look at all this brown. Here, all throughout here. But then, green. Green. And still more green. Leading up to a beautiful cradle of green there, where in the notch where these two sides of the mountain come together, and two magnificent trees, possibly sycamore. I'm not sure. This is called the stream riparian zone. To use the language of the ecologist, the riparian zone is the zone of water influence, where the direct stream. What happens is that there's a water table in this mountain. You can't see the upper peaks, they're in the mist there, but the sparse rain that falls here will collect underground and then be channeled into places where it will emerge from the hidden areas within the rocks and come out and run for a short distance above ground, creating an actual stream. And the life and plants, the animals, and all of the associated ecosystem therein is called the stream riparian zone. Beautiful. Now I've come up here to examine this riparian zone, which starts right there. And let's go ahead and, if you're interested, I'll keep the camera on. Let's go down and have a look. We have to be careful though. Rattlesnakes live in these cracks here. I have to be very careful where I step. Fire ants are up here. They'll bite you. There are many thistly plants with thorns and spikes and very curious things to see. Look at this. There's obviously an insect creating some sort of a nest here. little flower, you know, little bits of heaven here and there. Isn't that beautiful? But these plants. Oh, there's an insect right there. What do we have here? What do we have here? Who are you? Who are you? You're a little bit camera shy. You're hiding from the camera. What are you? This I believe. Let's pick you up. This I believe maybe. Do a better job of turning it over. Maybe a type of a beetle, a coleoptera. Whoa, if I remember the order name properly. Isn't that pretty? Hear the noise below. Sorry, little insect, I'll put you down here. And you know, you guys know me and my love of hornets. I have already seen 3, what are called, tarantula hawks. Massive, I mean, they must be nearly as large as the Asian giant. Very large black wasps, hornets that wander through these mountains seeking big spiders, tarantulas, and wolf spiders that they will bite, they will sting and paralyze and draw back to their lair, bury in a hole, deposit a single egg upon it, seal the hole. The larva will then emerge, consuming the big spider very, very carefully, consuming it such that the vital organs remain intact, and the spider does not die. The meat remains fresh, and dispatching the spider in the end when the larva is ready to emerge. I've seen 3 of these massive hornets roaring around. They must be as large as the Asian giant. Truly a stunning sight, so I'm very happy to find hornets as well here in the mountains. I'm going to approach cautiously, very, very cautiously, for I'm getting quite beat up here. One of the distinguishing features of this type of landscape that differs from Japan is, whereas in Japan, everything is so green and lush and tall trees are everywhere, the large amount of the green part of the ecosystem is above my head when I'm hiking, and I have a lot of clear space below. Although, and what I do touch tends to be rather soft and pliable, soft plants. Here in the desert, the landscape is such that, and the water source is such that the water is low, the plants are low to the ground. I'm scratching my knees up all the time, and the plants tend to be dry and brittle, offering I see how I'm always seem to be going through this stuff, this dry, abrasive stuff that scratches the legs up. It's a low ecosystem versus a high one in Japan. Here, I'm getting close now. If I'm talkative, it's because I'm excited. I love coming to places like this. One of the things I also love to do is to explore the geology. I talked to you a moment ago about the granite. Here you can see this beautiful granite face. And I'm going to repeat myself for a moment and just talk about how you can see the crystal grains. I believe this is quartz here, and the various other dark grains. And the only reason that they were able to separate like that into their pieces is because they cooled ever so slowly deep within the earth while the magma Pluton cooled and hardened after its rise from below. But when the earth moves and shifts, and as that happens, cracks form in the granite, and other minerals in a molten form are able to seep through. You can see here veins of different minerals, perhaps quartz or something like that. This seems a little bit different. You can see how these veins, where the granite cracked, and then these minerals came in and then hardened as well. Here's certainly more quartz up here. You can find great quartz outcrops. All of these lines tell a story about how the Earth, this part of the Pluton, was shifted and modified, and various changes. Now I'm getting closer to the actual green, and I see a flower. Let's go have a look. Beautiful little flower here. Isn't that nice? Now I have to be very, 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 very careful. In fact, I just didn't realize what I was doing. This plant right here, people forgive me if I'm in error. It's been decades since I've really spent a lot of time, not decades, but a long time out here. This, I'm pretty sure, is poison oak. An oily plant that if you touch it and get the oil on you, you will be very unhappy. You will get a rash on your skin that was very hard to get away. You'll need ointment to take care of it. And I've had lots of experience with this plant when I was a boy. Poison oak, and it's all through this area. This This area right here is basically a border, a boundary. It does not want me to get in there. Even though the water is flowing in there, there's almost no chance that I'll be able to see it. This is all poison oak through here, I believe. All through here. Poison oak turns into a brownish red color as the season progresses. And if we look closely, I think we can begin to see the brownish leaves over here, turning more red over here in this area. Eventually the leaves will fall off, leaving just the stems. But the stems have the oil as well, and they can get you many times, these stems, in the cooler season. I've gone hiking when I was a boy, always in shorts. I always wear shorts. It's just my love of the way I want to move. I always would get the poison oak on my body. One time even had on my privates after. That was very uncomfortable. Now another thing you want to be careful about hiking in this area is this plant right here. This is a thistle, and I don't know if I can find a place where I can show it close without getting the oil on me, touching the poison oak. Can you see the stem of this plant? Oh, there's a bee. Can you see the stem of this plant? It has little hairs on it. Those hairs are thistle hairs, and they will cause intense pain if you touch them. I mean, it's almost like as bad as a bee sting in some ways. I touched them earlier, maybe 45 minutes ago on my finger, and it still hurts now. Be very, very careful. And all of these plants are the thistle. So I have thistle and poison oak blocking my way, keeping me from getting any closer. And I'm going to carefully step back so that I don't bring a poison oak infection with me back to Japan. Today is our last full day in the United States. My family and I will be returning to Japan tomorrow morning. I got up early this morning, left the family behind. Everybody was sleeping. Parker, Lyle, Jen, Yumiko, and Emily. Put on my pack, grabbed my camera, and off I went. One last thing I want to do for you, I want to try to see if we can hear the water while being careful not to touch any of these plants. I will do something very rare. I will stop talking for a minute. There will be sound of traffic, but let's see if you can hear the water. I can hear it. Let's hopefully the camera can pick it up. Here, I'll be quiet now. Hummingbird. Did you see that hummingbird? You probably heard it. The entire time I've been up here, hummingbirds have been one after another dropping by to say hi to me. I've really been enjoying it. Last thing I want to do is show you the glimpse of the big tree up in the distance that I think is the heart and the centerpiece of this oasis. Try not to do not want to see how this scratches the legs out. Watch. You pass through. There it is. Rock outcroppings there. Big sycamore tree, I believe that is there. And the sun is just now burning through the clouds. We will have blue sky. There you can see it. Blue sky probably within 15 minutes. The clouds will all burn off. Can you see up there? It's a very, very special moment. The sun is just coming over the peak there. Let's go up and greet it. This will be the last bit of this video. I've been up since dawn, enjoying a wonderful hike. And there it is, there's the sun. Over the peak there, over those beautiful granite outcropping. Blue sky is beginning to appear all around. You can now see the summit of the mountain, well, the near summit. Further summits are on beyond. Beautiful. It's just so amazing. You don't need to come to Japan or anywhere. You can just look around your backyard. I am literally in my brother's backyard. There are the houses. You can begin to see the houses better as the sun clears. I am literally in my brother's backyard, and I am finding all kinds of wonders. Just one last thing to see that I just noticed that I want to share with you. This is called the yucca plant. It's all dead, but these plants have these spear-like leaves that come out right here, and this wonderful protuberance for the flowering element there. They're so beautiful to see when they're in full bloom. This one is completely dead. It's already past its flower. But just back to my point, so many people write to me all the time.